Good morning.
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 Good morning. I'm gonna call docket 19-01129 GC. That's Progressive Marathon versus JNMD Clark. Will the parties please
Yes, I'm
introduce
here.
themselves for the record?
Good
Hi,
morning,
I'm
Your Honor.
JNMD.
Excuse me, Tiffany.
Go ahead, Ms.
I'm
Williams.
Good
JNMD
morning, Your
Naya
Honor.
Clark. Sorry.
Go ahead, Ms. Williams.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have a plan of P9 409 for the record.
All right. Ms. Williams, we didn't get that. You were breaking up a little bit.
Oh, hello, Your Honor. Good morning.
Yep,
Tiffany
I can hear
Williams
you now.
on behalf-
Yeah. And what's your P number?
74809.
All right. And then Ms. Clark, you're here.
I'm JNMD Naya Clark.
All right. I have this set for a motion on the matter.
That's correct, Your Honor.
This is right, and this is a motion from, if I understand the complaint, this is the motion.
I
There
was just trying to
complaint filed. Go ahead.
I was just trying to get my license restated, so because I didn't know this was happening, so I was just trying to get my license restated so I can make a payment to get my license back, or because right now I can't even work to pay or do anything that you guys are asking me because I don't have a license.
All right. My understanding is your license was defaulted. Is that right?
They said it's suspended. I went to the Secretary of State and they said that it was suspended. And for me to get it back, I either have to show that it's dismissed or that I need to make a payment or set up a payment plan. That's what Secretary of State told me.
All right. Have you Ms. Williams, my understanding is this is a notice of hearing set by Ms. Clark, who says she can't afford to pay and she needs assistance from the government concerning her. This was an initial. That's what we're here on. Her notice of hearing in motion to remove an abstract and get my license back. But then my understanding is, from looking at the case, is that the license was defaulted somehow. Is that
Yes.
true, Ms.
Yes, Your Honor. So this is, by the way, of history on the case. This is a subrogation action that we have filed.
Right.
We filed against Ms. Clark. She was defaulted. In my response, I included the proof of service where she was served at the address that's listed in this motion. She didn't answer, so default was entered. A default judgment, was entered against her. And when you're involved in a motor vehicle accident and you're uninsured and you get a judgment, the Secretary of State will suspend your driver's license once the insurance company, and then it was us on behalf of the insurance company, files an abstract with the court. So the Secretary of State probably sent her a letter saying that until the judgment is paid off or you enter into a payment plan, they cannot reinstate her driver's license. And my understanding is her motion today is to get her license back, not necessarily pay.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
that's my question. If it's just to get the license back, then we have an issue, because I don't see any other way to get her license back except to set up some kind of payment plan with you.
That's correct.
Right. So, Ms. Clark, are you willing to meet with Ms. Williams to set up some kind of payment plan? Because that seems to be your option.
Yeah.
All right. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm indicating this is a motion. It's on your motion, but your options are limited. You don't have a license, and you can't get a license until you indicate that you've set up some kind of plan on it.
I mean, yeah, I don't really have an income to set it up. That's all I get is the child support and the Social Security, but I mean, we would have to do that because I need my license back. I need that back to basically try to make the
Well,
money to try to pay this off.
I understand, Ms. Clark, but I can't just give you a license back. I mean, I have to
I
dismiss the
understand.
file,
Yeah, I understand.
and I can't dismiss the file. So I'm gonna put Ms.
Okay.
Williams and Ms. Clark in breakout room 1 to see if they can come up with a solution to this motion. All right, is that amenable to you, Ms. Williams?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. And then Ms. Williams, you'll have to follow the prompt. All right, well, they're in the breakout room. I will call docket 22-00420 GC. Oh, Miss Mock is not here yet, if that's corrected.
Wait,
So
Your Honor, if I may.
Okay, Mr. Brainer.
Sure. Good morning. Attorney Jason Brainer on behalf of Discover Bank. So if you recall, Your Honor, we were here previously, and Ms. Mock was also present at that time because we worked out a settlement agreement. And we had adjourned
Right,
this motion to
That's
today,
what-
like to give her time to make that last payment, which she did make.
Okay,
So we'd like to withdraw our motion respectfully at this time, and then if we could just adjourn the trial out indefinitely to give us time to submit a stipulation to dismiss.
all right. So why don't we do this? So the conditions, I have those notes in the file that that she was to make 2 payments, and then we were setting it for a second pretrial just to ensure that those payments were made.
Yes, that's correct.
So I'm going to indicate the conditions were met by the defendant. And then I'm going to, I'll place this file. All we're waiting is for paperwork, right, Mr. Brainer, to follow up?
So we're just waiting on this last payment to clear on our side. She made it
Okay.
about 4 days ago, so it takes about 12 days for it to clear. But it should. Usually these things go through, so we're pretty confident it will. And once that does, we typically we'll send her a stipulation to dismiss, and then we should be all set. And then
All
we'll
right, we can set it for like a 2-week final pretrial or something out, just waiting for the paperwork, if that would be your preference.
Sure, we could do that. That's fine, Your Honor.
All right, well, hold on, Mr. Brainer. They just told me it's set for bench trial tomorrow. So we definitely want to adjourn that.
Yes, for sure.
What's the next date we have for a bench trial, just to make sure it clears so that we can.
It's just like.
So let's adjourn the bench trial to August 31st, and that should give you plenty of time. At 9:30, but that should give you time to build in time to get for the paperwork to get in, and then to notify the court that this has been dismissed.
Okay, that sounds excellent, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'll write that for the file. Adjourn bench trial to August 31st, 9:30. Plaintiff to follow up with dismissal. Yeah. All right, I've been indicated for the ROA that this is adjourned August 31st. However, it's probably a dismissal if the last payment clears.
Yep.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Brainer?
Nothing this time, Your Honor.
All right. So that's all on the record, docket 2200420, and we'll look forward to your paperwork. All right, Mr. Brainer?
All right. Thank you. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Take care.
So, Mr. Sparks, I'll call your case. That's docket 2201183. That's LVNV funding versus Shirley Lopez. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. Keith Sparks here on behalf of LBNV Funding.
And ma'am, you are Shirley Lopez?
Yes, sir. I'm Shirley Lopez.
All right, and you can hear me all right, Ms. Lopez?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me, sir?
I can, thank you. This is the
Okay.
time set for a pretrial in the matter. Mr. Sparks, how are we proceeding today?
If possible, I would like to just do 60 days discovery and also have a chance to speak with Ms. Lopez in a breakout room if that's possible.
Yeah, Ms. Lopez, would you be amenable to talking to Mr. Sparks in a breakout room concerning the issues that arose out of this case?
Well, if that's the procedure, I do.
Well,
claim my
I mean,
innocence.
so you're not represented today, but if you want to, a pretrial generally is try to resolve some of the issues before trial, or to try to, try to address some of the issues before trial. And usually what's done, or it's not unusual, is for the parties to meet so they can talk through some of these issues. Would you be amenable to meeting Mr. Sparks in a breakout room?
Oh, yeah. Well, whatever I'm supposed to do, I want to do.
All right. Well, it's your preference, but it certainly would help you to be able to talk to Mr. Sparks to make sure you understand any issues we have.
Okay. So
All
how do I
right. So
get
I'm
to
going to
that?
play. So I will place you in a breakout room. I'll place Mr. Sparks and Ms. Lopez in a breakout room, room two. And so you should get a prompt, Ms. Lopez. Oh, there you go. All right. Perfect. All right. We're on the record in docket 22-01274. That's Patrick Gray versus Nikolai Kilbasa. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. Nikolai Kilbasa, present.
All right. You're on mute, Mr. Hines.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney John Hintz here for the plaintiff, P number 47968.
All right, this is the time set for a pretrial today. Mr. Hines, have you had, or Mr. Hitz, have you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Kilbasa concerning this matter?
No, I have not, Your Honor, but Mr. Kilbasa has been in contact with my office. So if there's any more breakout rooms available, we certainly could talk and see what's going on with this matter.
Sure. Mr. Kilbasa, would you be amenable to meeting with Mr. Hintz, who is a legal representative of Patrick Gray, in a breakout room?
Hi, Your Honor. Oh, my apologies.
Yep. A pretrial is simply a hearing in which the parties get together to see if they can resolve some of the issues.
Yes, sir. My attorney was not able to be present today, so I was told to ask for 60 days of discovery, and we would be more than happy to get together with Mr. Hintz to try and resolve this. I believe both parties are very interested in that. With that being said, would it be possible to not go into a break room today, but meet with Mr. Hintz when I do have the opportunity to have my attorney present?
Yeah, what is your attorney's name, sir?
My apologies, sir. Right now, Alethea Harvey is assisting me, but we have a other attorney coming in to take over my case. He just didn't have availability today.
All right, but so I just want to know, I want to know what the attorney of record is to place in the file. I've gotten Mr. Hintz as the attorney of record for Patrick Gray. So is Alethea, is she a lawyer, or is she a representative or an assistant to a lawyer?
She is a lawyer herself. She was just getting one of her other colleagues to assist me with this case because this was a little bit outside of what she does.
All right. What's her name again?
Her name is Alethea Harvey. I'm trying to get my lawyer's name currently. I apologize. I don't have that ready for you. It was kind of a last minute thing deciding to go with him.
So, Mr. Hintz, do you have any objection to us adjourning this matter at least for a small period of time so that you can speak with the lawyer for Mr. Kilbasa?
That would be fine, Your Honor. That's great. Mr. Kilbasa, is there a phone number for the attorney, or have the attorney call me? My name and number are right there on the notice to appear.
Yes, sir. I will have my attorney reach directly out to you, and Judge, the attorney's name is Fred Blackman.
Oh, okay. Well, he's well known to the court, so.
Yes, he's a good man.
So the attorney is Fred Blackman.
Correct.
I don't know. I don't know how far we've got to put this out for really, this is just the opportunity for Mr. Hintz and Mr. Blackman to get together and meet. I'm thinking I don't know what you want to call that, a second pre-trial? Do you want to call that just a discovery conference?
That would be fine, Your Honor. I will contact Mr. Blackman. I'll give it a little time so Mr. Blackman can be informed on what's going on. And then
let's set it for discovery, some type of discovery conference, or
that's fine.
Whatever you want to call it. How long do you think, Mr. Hintz? Because I
no more than 45 days, Your Honor. I mean,
right.
I'm going to certainly grant agree with Mr. Kilbasa for 60 days discovery. And if he or Mr. Blackman would like some items from me, I will. I know how to use a photocopier, Your Honor, and I can get them whatever
All right.
they need.
So mid-September sometime. Yeah. So let's set it for mid-September sometime. Let me get a date. September 19th. September 19th at 8:30.
That'll be great, Your Honor.
Yeah, that should give you sufficient time to talk to Mr. Blackman. And all right, so the attorney of records, Fred Blackman, we set for discovery conference on September 19th at 8:30. And then Mr. Hintz, you feel free to talk to Mr. Blackman beforehand. So anything else for the record, Mr. Hintz, on 2201-274?
No, Your Honor, that's fine. All is good, and I will contact Mr. Blackman.
All right, thank you. Mr. Kilbasa, you're all set. You're free to leave. And then we'll reconvene on September 19th, and Mr. Hintz will be in touch with Mr. Blackman.
Thank you very much. I will have him reach out to Mr. Hintz soon.
Thank you, Mr. Kilbasa.
That's all for the record.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
record. Might have to close out room one. to get it back.
Your Honor, if I might say, Ms. Clark, she wasn't able to get out of the breakout room. She needed.
Right, we may have to break, we may have to close that room to get her back. So here she is.
Okay.
Hello?
Miss Clark, we're back on the record in your file. So docket 19-0111119 GC. Miss Williams, did you have the opportunity to talk to Miss Clark today in a breakout room?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And were you able to resolve any issues in this case?
Yes, Your Honor. We entered into, or we have a proposed agreement to present to the court as far as a payment plan. And I can put that on the record.
All right.
Ms. Clark is going to pay $25 for the first 3 months, starting on August 5th of this month. And after the 3 months passes, the payment will increase to $50. Then at 1 year, we will do a creditor's exam where the payments will increase to at least $100.
So so the amounts will increase over time. Do you plan to write that up put that in order to the court for the court to sign, or so do something to follow up so that the court can sign something
Yes,
in
Your
regards
Honor.
to the agreement?
What will happen is we will do a partial payment agreement once Ms. Clark makes her first
And
payment.
Miss Williams, I can't
We'll,
hear you. Something
send a
happened to your
copy,
audio.
or a proposed order to Ms. Clark for her to review it, make sure it's consistent with what we agreed to. She'll sign it, send it back to us. We'll sign it.
Miss Williams?
Send that to the clerk. The clerk signs it, and then it goes to the Secretary of State. And that document is what lists the suspension.
Miss Williams, I'm sorry, your audio went out there.
Your Honor?
Can you hear me?
I can now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I can barely hear you right now. Now I can't hear you at all.
Hello?
All right, I can barely hear you, Miss Williams.
Okay, is this any better?
Yes, that's a little better. Yeah. Did you want to
Okay,
follow
I'll
that
try
up
to
with
speak
an?
up.
All right. Did you want to follow up that agreement with some paperwork for the court to sign?
Yes, Your Honor. So what happens is we draft up a partial payment agreement. We send that to Ms. Clark. She reviews it and signs it, sends it back to us for us to sign it, and we send that document to the clerk. It gets signed by the clerk, and that document is what goes over to the Secretary of State to release the suspension. It's a document that's created by the Secretary of State for payment.
All right. So and I'm still having some trouble hearing you, ma'am, but my understanding is that the parties take care of it and go to the Secretary of State.
That is correct. We do involve the clerk because the clerk needs to sign it as well. But yes, we'll take care of initiating that process.
All right. So what did you want to do in regards to Ms. Clark's motion today? So it sounds like you resolved the issues of the motion because you're going to the Secretary of State can release the license upon a payment plan. What did you want? What did you?
I think her motion should be dismissed because it's being resolved as a result of a payment plan.
Right. Ms. Clark, that's my read on this, is that there is a payment plan that's set up that once you sign the payment plan and it goes to the court clerk and then to the Secretary of State, it's taken care of. And so it sounds like you've resolved the issue concerning your motion. Is that a fair statement, Ms. Clark?
Yes.
All right. Well, then I'm going to dismiss the motion today based on the agreement between the parties. based on agreement between the parties. And then I will leave the parties to follow up with the paperwork. All right, Ms. Williams?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Clark, anything else? Do you have any questions?
No, thank you. Nope.
All right, that's all for the record in 1901129. Ms. Clark and Ms. Williams, have a nice day.
You too. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Good morning.
Good morning. We have one case still in a breakout room, one civil case, but we can start on our ordinance docket. Who's representing Mr. Dodson today? Is that you, Ms. Sutter?
It is, Your Honor.
All right. And Ms. Kagan Lawrence, you're here for the city?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let's go ahead and call that case then.
Your Honor, if you don't mind, before going on the record, that may I have a very brief breakout room with Mr. Dodson?
Yes, absolutely. So let's place Mr. Dodson and Ms. Sutter in a breakout room.
Thank you.
We also have Mr. Samoris and Ms. Kagan Lawrence, and I think Mr. Miller's here. Are you ready to proceed on that matter?
Perhaps I would need just a moment with Ms. Hagan, Your Honor.
All right, I can place Mr. Samoris and Ms. Hagan Lawrence in a breakout room.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I think Ms. Lopez might need some help being pulled back in from the breakout room.
Yeah, and so we'll be back on the record in that. Here she is.
Okay.
So we're back on the record in docket 22-01183. That is LV Envy versus Shirley Lopez. Mr. Sparks, you had the opportunity to speak with Ms. Lopez in a breakout room?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
And did anything come out of that?
Nothing in the regards to settlement. We did send some documents to her pre-suit, but she apparently has some vision problems, and so I'm going to email her a PDF so she can blow it up on her screen so she can review everything.
Okay.
And so we would request 60 days discovery at this time, and I'll get those emailed over to her today.
All right, so parties met in breakout room.
Hello?
Yeah, Ms. Lopez, my understanding is that some documents are going to be emailed to you for your review, and that we're going to set this thing out 60 days for discovery.
Okay.
Do you understand that, Ms. Lopez?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. October 3rd at 8:30. So, Mr. Sparks, we've set it for October 3rd at 8:30.
For a
Ms.
second
Lopez?
pretrial?
Yeah, we'll set it, let's call that a second pretrial or discovery and discovery hearing. Ms. Lopez, you understand that we're going to be back October 3rd at 8:30 in this court. In those 60 days, there'll be discovery done, and that'll be set it for a second pretrial. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir, I do. Thank you.
All right. Anything else for the record, Mr. Sparks, on 22-01183?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. We'll see if we'll be back here October 3rd at 8:30. Ms. Lopez, you're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lopez.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Your Honor.
And Mr. Samores, did you have the opportunity to speak with Ms. Hagan Lawrence in a breakout room?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Are we ready to proceed on that case?
I think we will be, but I think I need literally 2 minutes with my client, Mr. Christian Miller.
All right. Let's put Mr. Samores and Mr. Miller in a breakout room. I guess Mr. Samores can go back to room 3, and then Mr. Miller can be put in room 3. So go ahead and rejoin that room 3, Pete.
Sure. I cannot find it on here though, right? I'm trying to think. It just says leave. I'll just put leave, I guess, but I think that just means leave meeting. I don't have a breakout room option as that I'm seeing.
How does he return to that room?
Should be a one that either says breakout rooms or more.
Join breakout room. There we go on the bottom. There we go. Thank you.
There it is. All right. Thank you.
Your Honor, I believe that Mr. Rodriguez is unrepresented, or at least he was the last time this case was up. So if you'd like me to speak with him, I'm happy to do so.
All right. I just saw him and then I lost him.
I just cut out. I thought I heard my name. Is that correct?
That is. Mr. Rodriguez, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with the city attorney. First of all, Mr. Rodriguez, you're not represented today. Is that right?
Correct.
All right. Would you be amenable to talking to the city attorney in a breakout room concerning some of the issues in this case?
Yes, that's fine, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to have Mr. Rodriguez, who is on Martin's iPhone. What is that? And Ms. Hagan Lawrence in a breakout room.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Your Honor, while we're waiting, may I briefly speak with Mr. Wallace in a breakout room?
Sure. I'll have, so Miss Sutter, you in room 1, and then I'll have Mr. Wallace be placed in room 1.
Thank you.
I didn't know how to leave the room. Martin Rodriguez is in court too.
So Miss Hagan Lawrence is in a breakout room, so we're just waiting for her to rejoin us.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and go on the Dodson case, and then we'll just go from there, Miss Hagan Lawrence. So I'm going to
Great,
call the docket. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm waiting for an email with some information from Mr. Rodriguez. So if we could push that one down just a little bit further until I get that, I would appreciate it.
All right. You let me know when you want to call it. And so we are on the record in docket 22-00868. City of Lansing versus James Dodson. This is the time set for a final pretrial to be a plea in my notes. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence, appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Oh, that's my fault, Mr. Dodson, because Ms. Sutter's still in a breakout room. And I think that's your lawyer.
Yes.
So let's go ahead of Mr. Samorse's case.
Thank you.
So on the record, docket 22-00901, that's City of Lansing versus Christian Miller. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence, appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Peter Samores here on behalf of the defendant, Christian Dane Miller, who is present via Zoom.
Sir, you are Christian Miller?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, and you can hear me all right, Mr. Miller?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this is the time set for a plea in this matter I have. Ms. Hagan-Lawrence, how are we proceeding today?
Thank you, Your Honor. I have made a couple of different offers to Mr. Miller's attorney, so I'm going to defer to Mr. Samorist so he can let the court know which offense, if any, he accepts.
Sure. Thank
All
you.
right, Mr. Samores?
Thank you, Your Honor. In short, yes, that is correct. Two different offers were made. One is a misdemeanor, commonly known as no operator's license in possession. It is 0 points, but in my legal opinion, it would still be abstractable. And it is, again, it is a misdemeanor. My client has turned that down, but he was also offered a civil infraction commonly known as interfering with traffic. That is a 2-point civil infraction and would be abstracted to the Secretary of State. Mr. Miller is aware of that, but he does want to resolve this matter and therefore wishes to admit responsibility to that civil infraction.
Okay, so what's the civil infraction again, Mr. Samores? So I can write it down.
It's not impeding traffic, but it's interfering with traffic. And I'm sorry, I don't have the site handy.
Your Honor, that site is MCL 257.649.
Interfering with traffic. Which is a different one than impeding traffic, if I remember. I do remember that.
Yes, Your Honor. Impeding is the 0 point civil infraction. Interfering is the 2 point.
2 points. All right. And then Ms. Hagan-Lawrence, what is your understanding of the fine for that offense?
I believe that's a fine set by the court. I don't know if it's one of the standard ones that was recently updated.
Right. I'm looking at that and I just see it. 130. Yeah. So it's a general civil infraction fine of $130. That's what I have.
I
So
believe
that would
correct.
be okay. That would be an amended count 3, and then counts 1 and 2 would be dismissed on the ticket.
Your Honor, I only have a 1-count ticket in front of me.
I have. Oh, that's right. The speeding was a warning, so that's not an actual count.
Correct.
Okay, so it'd be an amended count 2.
That's
Or count 1. Yeah.
or amended count 1, but either one.
Amended count 1. Right. All right, Mr. Samores, may I inquire of your client concerning the responsibility to the amended count 1?
Yes, Your Honor. And I'm sorry,
right.
you wanted me to inquire of my client? Is that what I heard?
I'll inquire of him.
Very well,
I'll
very
go ahead
well.
and inquire of him. Right.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Miller, you understand that you're going to admit responsibility to a civil infraction pursuant to 257.649. That is a 2-point civil infraction of interfering with traffic with a fine of $130. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And with that, the count 1, which was amended, the misdemeanor will be dismissed. So I'll ask you some questions in regards to this admission. On or about March 29th of 2022, at the offense location of East Jolly Road, Tranter Street in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan, did you interfere with traffic pursuant to 257.649?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you admit responsibility to that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, do you need time? The fine for that's $130. Do you need some time to pay that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would 2 weeks suffice?
That should be fine.
All right, so I'll give you 2 weeks to pay the $130 fine.
Your Honor, can I pay that by mail?
You can ask me about that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, you can pay by mail, you can pay by online, or you can come down to the city and pay it.
Thank you.
And then the Secretary of State will be responsible for any abstract or license sanction. Anything else for the record, Mr. Samoris, as to 22-00901?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything, Ms. Hagan-Lawrence?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. All right, Mr. Miller, you're free to go. Thank you for your appearance and good luck.
Thank you.
Mr. Rod, or you're still waiting for an email on Mr. Rodriguez.
I've received that email, Your Honor.
All right. Did you want to go on the record in that case?
Sure.
All right. We're on the record in docket 22-01227. That is City of Lansing versus Martin A. Rodriguez. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Lisa Hagan-Lawrence, appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
And sir, you are Mr. Martin Rodriguez? We lost Mr. Rodriguez. Ms. Hagan-Lawrence, we had Mr. Rodriguez, and then oh, there he is. You are Martin Rodriguez?
Yeah, Martin Rodriguez, on behalf of myself, Your Honor.
All right. You're a little echoey, Mr. Rodriguez. So can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Ms. Hagan-Lawrence, how are we proceeding today? This time set for a pretrial.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe we have a resolution in this matter. I have offered an amendment to the fail to stop an ID at a property damage accident to the civil infraction of moving violation resulting in an at-fault accident. I've got that citation here if you need it.
All right, so it's moving violation resulting in an accident?
Correct, an at-fault accident.
Okay, at fault. And what's the site for that, Ms. Hagan-Lawrence?
MCL 257.320A1L.
You said 257?
It's just a
257
statutory citation. Yes, 257.320A sub 1 sub L.
Thank you.
And let's see, is it? I have a fine of set by the court at $160 on that ticket. Is that coming with any points, Ms. Hagan-Lawrence?
It does, Your Honor. That's a 4-point civil infraction.
4 points. All right, Mr. Rodriguez, I'm gonna explain to you the consequences of pleading to the moving violation, and then I will take an admission of fault. All right, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So my understanding is we're going to amend count 1 to a civil infraction of moving violation resulting in accident. That's an at-fault accident. Pursuant to 257.320A, parents A, parents 1, parents L. That is a 4-point civil infraction with a fine of $160. Is that your understanding of the consequences of this of admitting responsibility, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to bring your attention back, Mr. Rodriguez, to May 6th of 2022 on East Michigan Avenue at or near Cedar Street in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan. Were you operating a motor vehicle at that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
And at that time, did you have a moving violation that resorted in an at-fault accident on that date and time?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And you're admitting responsibility to that today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So I find the admission to the civil infraction to be knowing, intelligent, and voluntary, and the 4-point civil infraction that'll be abstracted by the Secretary of State. Do you need some time to pay the $160 fine, sir?
Yes, if I could get a month, that would be helpful.
All right, I'll give you 30 days. So 30 days.
Okay. Thank you.
To pay the $160 fine to the city. And sir, you can pay in person, by mail, or online to the city on that, okay?
Okay, just go to the courthouse.
Yep, you can just go to the courthouse here on the 6th floor, or you can go to the website, or you can mail it in.
When you say 6th floor, you're talking about 313 West Kalamazoo Street. Is that correct?
No, we're talking about the City Hall building, which is on Allegan.
Okay.
Michigan.
Okay.
So it's right across
Thank
from
you.
the Capitol. All right.
Okay.
Anything else on the file, Ms. Hagan-Lawrence?
Nothing from the city. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Rodriguez?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You're all set, sir.
Thank you. So this is the final court date. Is that correct?
Correct.
There's nothing further, and then I just handle my fines.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good
All
day.
right. Thank you too.
Bye.
So Ms. Sutter is in a breakout room with Mr. Wallace, and then we'll do Mr. Dodson. Ms. Hagan-Lawrence.
Thank you.
Julio G, will you identify yourself? Are you Julian Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
I am not.
Okay. With the cell phone caller, please identify yourself. 862-2766.
Nathan, Raymond.
All right. Mr. Raymond, you're here for your 9:30.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Garcia, are you represented by counsel today?
Miss Lisa was
Ms.
my
Sutter?
public defender.
All right. So Ms. Sutter's in a breakout room, so we'll stand
He's not
by.
represented by our office, Your Honor.
I think
Mr.
he was
Garcia's-
referring to the conversations that he's had with me, not as his public defender, but as the
Oh, okay.
prosecutor in this matter.
All right. All right. So so Mr. Garcia, you're not represented by your own lawyer today. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and call your case, sir, because I have this set for plea hearing. Or Ms. Hagan-Lawrence, did you need an opportunity to speak to Mr. Garcia before we call the case?
Just briefly, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to have Ms. Hagan-Lawrence and Mr. Garcia placed in a breakout room. So are you going back to room 2 with them? Yeah. Julian Garcia. All right, Ms. Robinson, we're going to put you in a room with Mr. Raymond. And Ms. Sutter, we'll do Mr. Dodson when Ms. Hagan Lawrence gets back from a breakout room.
Perfect. Thank you.
Because I don't see mine. Like, I recognize none of these people. Well, let me see your phone so I can call her. What if I like wasn't?
Ms. Maurer, you can mute yourself until your hearing begins.
Oh, okay, thanks.
We're on the record in docket 22-00868. That's City of Lansing versus James S. Dodson. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? I think this is once again.
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Dodson, who is present via Zoom.
And sir, you are Scott Dodson?
James Scott Dodson, yes.
James Scott Dodson, and you can hear me all right, Mr. Dodson?
Yes, sir.
All right, this is the time set for a final pretrial / plea. Ms. Hagan Lawrence, how are we proceeding today?
Thank you, Your Honor. I have conveyed an offer to Ms. Sutter to amend the OWI .08 to an impaired. It's my understanding from Ms. Sutter that Mr. Dodson will accept that offer.
So amend count 1 to impaired?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Sutter, is that a fair and accurate statement?
It is, Your Honor.
And what's the, just for my own, what's the site for that impaired?
I knew you were going to ask that. Impaired is 257.625 sub 3.
625 sub. What's the sub on that again?
3.
3. All right. And that's 90 days.
I believe it's
93 day.
I believe it's 93 days and or $300.
Okay.
Correct.
Ms. Sutter, if that's a fair and accurate statement, I'll inquire of your client.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Dodson, you understand that you'd be pleading to an amended count 1 of operating what's traditionally known as operating while impaired?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the consequences for that are a possible 93 days in jail and or $300.
Yes, sir.
All right, and that's pursuant to 257-6253. Now that I've shared the possible most penalty you can get, I'm going to give you some rights that you are going to give up in order to plea instead of going to trial. All right, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, if the plea is accepted, you will not have a trial of any kind. So you'll be giving up the following rights that you would have at trial. You have the right to have witnesses called in your defense. Of course, you have the right to counsel. Ms. Sutter's here. She would contest any charges against you and cross-examine any witnesses brought against you. You'd be given up the right to cross-examine all witnesses, the right to testify or to remain silent without an inference being drawn from your silence, the presumption of innocence, and the requirement that your guilt be proven beyond a reasonable doubt by the city of Lansing. Do you understand the rights that you are giving up if you plead guilty today?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you're waiving those rights to plead guilty because you are guilty of the amended count of what you're indicating, operating while impaired.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to have you raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to bring your attention, sir, back to December 31st of 2021 at the offense location of Lenore on Martin Luther King, Lansing, Michigan. Were you operating a vehicle on a highway or a place open to the general public at that time near Martin Luther King and Lenore?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then that is in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan.
Yes, sir.
And at that time, did you have a blood alcohol level, or did you later learn that you had an alcohol content in your breath or blood of over operating while impaired would require 0.08? You can do the charge from 0.10, but is it your understanding that you had a blood alcohol level over the acceptable legal amount at that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and that, for our purposes, that would be over 0.08, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Hagan Lawrence, factually from the defendant?
No, Your Honor.
Anything, Ms. Sutter?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I find the plea to be understanding, voluntarily, and accurately given. I'm going to direct the defendant to probation, to the probation department. So, sir, you'll have to go to the probation department within 48 hours. And what they're going to do is they're going to give you a questionnaire and answers so they can develop a pre-sentence report so we know the correct way to give you options and guidance for sentencing. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, is that on Kalamazoo Street?
It's right here on Michigan, downtown in Michigan. It's the City Hall building.
Okay.
It's the 5th floor, right? Probation's good. So it's the 5th floor of the probation of the City Hall building, right across from the Capitol.
Okay.
All right. So if you can do that within 48 hours of go to probation, then answer their questions and they'll develop a report for me.
Okay.
Anything else from the city, Ms. Hagan Lawrence?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Oh, wait, I should get a sentencing date. So the sentencing date is September 13th at 9 a.m. Now, anything, Ms. Hagan Lawrence from the city?
No.
Anything, Ms. Sutter?
Nothing other than to note for the record that Mr. Dotson has already completed a substance abuse assessment.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. Make sure they know that when you go through your interview. All right, Mr. Dotson?
Yes, I will.
All right. So that's all for the record, docket 2200868. And I'll see Mr. Dotson on September 13th. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You're free to leave, sir.
All right. Thank you. You leave this on.
If you tap the screen, you'll see that leave button again. Hit that and then leave meeting.
And here, there we go.
let's go on the record in that. So on the record in dockets, it's actually two here, 22-01000 and an accompanying ticket of 22L27047112, City of Lansing versus Cameron C. Wallace. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Wallace, who was present via Zoom.
All right. And sir, you are Cameron Wallace?
Yes.
And you can hear me all right, Mr. Wallace? Is that a yes?
Yes, yes, yeah.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Ms. Hagan Lawrence, how are we proceeding today?
Thank you, Your Honor. I've had an opportunity to confer with Ms. Sutter on this file. I have offered to dismiss the drove unlicensed. That would be case number 22-01000. If in exchange, Mr. Wallace accepts responsibility for the careless driving in the 4712 case, it is my understanding that he intends to accept that offer.
Is that a correct statement, Ms. Sutter?
It is, Your Honor.
All right. So for the record, I'll indicate that the file 22-01000 is to be dismissed as a part of the plea offer. And D is to accept responsibility to the ticket of careless driving.
Correct.
All right. All right. So, Ms. Sutter may inquire your client concerning the admission of responsibility concerning the careless driving ticket.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Wallace, you understand the plea negotiations here, and on this ticket, there are two counts, and the count one is to be dismissed, which is a misdemeanor count, and you're going to admit responsibility to careless driving, which is and what is the code number for that, Ms. Hagan Lawrence?
MCL 257.626B. That is a 3-point civil infraction.
Fraction. Careless is $215. Yeah, that's what it is. So, Mr. Wallace, I have you'll be admitting responsibility to the careless driving civil infraction under 257.626B. That is a 3-point civil infraction, and the fine is $215. Do you understand the consequences to pleading responsible to that ticket?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to bring your attention, sir, back to April 10th of 2022 at the offense location of West Holmes Road, Pleasant Grove Road in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan. Were you driving a motor vehicle on that day?
Yes.
All right. And at the time, were you driving in a manner pursuant to 257.626B that would be defined as careless on that day?
In my opinion, no.
Your Honor, to be
All right.
clear, as a civil infraction, I think Mr. Wallace only has to accept responsibility. I do not believe a factual basis in this manner is necessary for a civil infraction plea.
I would agree. I just want to make sure he understands that he's admitting responsibility to the careless driving ticket. So, so Mr. Wallace, do you admit responsibility that the ticket was written in regards to a careless driving offense?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So I find the defendant or the ticket, the person who was who the ticket was written to, Mr. Cameron Wallace, accepts responsibility for the careless driving ticket. The Secretary of State will take responsibility for the 3-point civil infraction being abstracted. Do you need some time to pay the $215 fine, sir?
Yes.
Will 30 days suffice?
Yeah, it should. I'm working, so it should, yeah.
All right. So I'll give you 30 days to pay fine, and that can be paid online, downtown in the City Hall building on the 6th floor, or it can be mailed in. So you have 3 ways that you're able to pay that fine. Okay.
Okay, could I go to downtown 303 Kalamazoo?
No, you'll have to go to downtown Michigan City Hall across from the Capitol. It's on the 6th floor, and that's where you can pay.
Okay.
And I'll send you an email, Mr. Wallace, with more payment information.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna.
All right.
They didn't pull me
Anything
over
else?
Pleasant Groves and Homes.
And
Mr. Wallace.
Anything else for the record, Ms. Hagan Lawrence?
No, Your Honor.
Anything, Ms. Sutter?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Wallace, you have 30 days to pay the fine. If you have any questions, keep in contact with Ms. Sutter, okay?
Okay.
All right, you're free to leave, sir. Thank you.
And Your Honor, if it's possible, may I have a brief breakout room with Miss Mowry?
So, Ms. Hagan Lawrence, are you ready to proceed with Mr. Garcia?
I am.
All right. So we're on the record in docket 22-01118, City of Lansing versus Julian Garcia. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
And sir, you are Julian Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And you can hear me all right, Mr. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Hagan Lawrence, this is the time set for a plea in the matter. How are we proceeding today?
Thank you, Your Honor. In my conversations with Mr. Garcia, I had asked for him to complete a few things and send it to me so that I could verify. I was not provided that information, although he did indicate that he had completed it. So for that reason, we would ask that this matter be set for a final pretrial so that he can email it over to me and I can verify it before the next court date. I would ask for a stipulation that no officer is required to be subpoenaed for that hearing.
So, Mr. Garcia, you understand that pursuant to the city attorney and yourself are requesting an adjournment for compliance purposes, so that Ms. Hagan Lawrence will have the material she needs to in order to finalize this plea offer for a plea. She's also requesting that no officer be subpoenaed. We generally subpoena witnesses for the final pretrial, but since the officer is being requested not to be subpoenaed, this is really only in order to get evidence or material for Ms. Hagan Lawrence that there will not be an officer subpoenaed. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So we'll set it for final pretrial. How many days do you think we need, Miss Lawrence?
Your Honor, I believe we would only need about 2 weeks if Mr. Garcia can email me that information today and I can have my staff begin to verify.
So 2 weeks. So we'll set it for August 16th at 8:30. That'll be final pretrial / plea. Anything else for the record, Ms. Hagan Lawrence?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Garcia, we'll see you back here August 16th at 8:30 in order to resolve this matter. In the meantime, any paperwork or indication of discovery, make sure you get to Ms. Hagan Lawrence, all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you're free to leave, sir. Thank you for your appearance.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Hey, I can't hear that.
All right, Mr. Pruitt, you're in the right place. Just stand by until your lawyer is ready to talk to you, okay?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. And then you are Lila Pruitt or Lila Craig?
Yeah.
All right, same. Your lawyer's in a breakout room and you're in the right place. All right, ma'am?
Okay.
All right. So we're on the record. On the record in docket 22-01298. That's people, the city of Lansing versus Nathan Raymond. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Aaron Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Mr. Raymond.
And sir, you are Nathan Raymond?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and you can hear me all right, Mr. Raymond?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Hagan Lawrence, this is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. How are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. I had conveyed an offer to Ms. Robinson, so I would defer to her on whether that's going to be agreeable to her client.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes, Your Honor. I conveyed the offer of the 2-point civil infraction of interfering with traffic under MCL 257.649 to Mr. Raymond. He wishes to accept responsibility for that. That comes with a $130 fine.
Civil infraction, sure. So, so let me make sure I've got this is an amendment to count 1.
Yes, Your Honor.
To the civil infraction. And what's the name of the civil infraction again? I got the number, but I didn't get the.
Interfering with traffic.
Okay, interfering with traffic. Is that a 2-point offense?
It is, Your Honor.
And a $130 fine. Is that your understanding, Ms. Robinson? All right. May I inquire Mr. Raymond to his admission of responsibility concerning the civil infraction?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Raymond, you understand that you are going to be admitting responsibility to a civil infraction of interfering with traffic pursuant to 257649.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And that comes with a $130 fine and a 2-point offense to the Secretary of State. You understand the implications or consequences of admitting fault to that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So I'll bring you're willing to do that today.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'm gonna bring your attention back to May 13th of 2022 at the offense location of West Jolly Road near South Washington in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan. Were you operating a motor vehicle on that date at that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is it true that you were interfering with traffic, which is in violation of 257.649?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I find the admission of responsibility to be knowing, voluntarily, intelligently made. This comes with a 2-point offense to the Secretary of State that they'll be responsible for the abstraction. How long do you need to pay the $130 fine, sir?
30 days should be good, Your Honor.
All right, that'll work. So 30 days to pay a $130 fine to the city of Lansing. You can pay that online or go to the building downtown, which is it's the City Hall building on Michigan across from the Capitol. You can go to the 6th floor, or you can mail it in. All right, sir?
I understand, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else for the record, Ms. Hagan Lawrence?
No, Your Honor.
Anything, Ms. Robinson?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Raymond, that's all set on this. You have 30 days to pay the ticket, and you're free to leave the Zoom room. Thank you for your appearance.
Yes, thank you, sir.
All right. Have a nice day.
You as well.
All right, we're on the record in docket 22-01692, City of Lansing versus Madison Maury. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, on behalf of Ms. Mowry, who is present via Zoom.
And you are Madison Maury, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you can hear me all right, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Ms. Hagan Lawrence, how are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. I've had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Sutter. At this point, we are requesting a 60-day adjournment or setting for a second pretrial in 60 days so that Ms. Mowry has an opportunity to get an assessment done and have that report be sent to me so that I can consider an offer in this case.
Is that a fair statement, Ms. Sutter?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll do a second pretrial for compliance purposes and for assessment. What's that? No, let's do like 5 weeks. Let's do 6 weeks. So let's do September 6th at 10 a.m. I think that should give enough time for an assessment. That's 5 weeks. That should be. So September 6th at 10 a.m. and then we can revisit the matter if there's a problem. Anything else? So Ms. Mauer, you understand the assessment should be done by September 6th at 10 a.m.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Hagan Lawrence, for the record?
No, Your Honor.
Anything, Ms. Sutter?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So that's on the record 22-01692, and we'll see everybody back at September 6th at 10 a.m. You're free to leave, Ms. Mowry.
Thank you.
Ms. Sutter, did you need to meet with Mr. I don't know if it's Mr. Pruitt is Miss Robinson's or Ms. Sutter's?
Mr. Pruitt
But
is
he's-
Ms. Robinson's client.
That's
All
correct.
right. Did you want to meet with Mr. Pruitt in a breakout room?
Yes, please.
All right, so let's go ahead and put Ms. Robinson and Mr. Pruitt in a breakout room. And how about Ms. Sutter? How about Ms. So you'll be in room 3. I think you just rejoin room 3. And Ms. Sutter, do you have Miss Craig?
I do not, Your Honor. Allow me to look her up very quickly.
All right.
I
Or
believe
how
she's
about,
Miss Robinson's client, Your Honor.
All right.
Well,
How about Miss or Mr. Adam?
Mr. Adam is my client.
All right, he's not here yet. Oh, he just came in. Do you need to meet with him?
Give me 1 second, Your Honor. I need to check my note from yesterday.
All right.
No, Your Honor, we are all set. I spoke with him yesterday.
All right. Then we had another person. Brandy, would you identify yourself for the are you Brandy Edwards? You're gonna have to take yourself off mute.
Sorry. Yes.
Yep. All right. All right, if we're ready to go on Mr. Adam. Mr. Adam, I'm gonna have you stand in one place while you're on Zoom. All right, so we're on the record in ticket 21 L2651052. That's City of Lansing versus Muhammad Adam. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Adam, who is present via Zoom.
And sir, you are Muhammad Adam? Sir, you are Muhammad Adam?
Can you hear us, Mr. Adam?
Yeah. So we're gonna have to send him a prompt to connect to audio because he's not connected to audio. Sir, you are Muhammad Adam?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you can hear me all right, Mr. Adam?
Yes, Your Honor. I heard you now.
All right. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Ms. Hagan Lawrence, how are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. I've not had a chance to speak with Ms. Sutter about this case. May we have a brief breakout room?
Absolutely. So I'll place Ms. Sutter and Ms. Hagan Lawrence in a breakout room.
Thank you.
And Mr. Adam will stand by until your lawyer meets with the city attorney, okay?
Okay.
If Your Honor would be so kind, may I speak with Mr. Adam very briefly?
Sure, I'll have Miss Sutter and Miss Adam placed in a breakout room.
Thank you.
Miss Hagan Lawrence, have you, I see Randy Lee Edwards is here and I don't have her as represented. Did you want to speak with her in a room?
Your Honor, I do have an appearance in demand in that file.
Okay.
From the Public Defender's Office, it appears that Ms. Robinson represents.
Perfect. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
love rule.
So we're on the record in docket. I have two dockets here, 22-01637. And 22-01746. That's City of Lansing versus Edric Pruitt. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Aaron Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Mr. Pruitt.
Sir, you are Edric Pruitt?
Yeah, this is what up.
Okay, you are Edric Pruitt, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. And you can hear me all right, Mr. Pruitt?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
All right. All right, Ms. Hagan Lawrence, this is time set for pretrial on these two files. How are we proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor. As a preliminary matter, I would note that the city did submit an amended complaint and warrant on file 22-01637. Or I'm sorry, 746 to add a trespassing count. In any event, I believe that we have a resolution on all matters, which is a plea guilty to assault and battery with a Killebrew that he be released on a PR bond until sentencing. However, if he fails to appear at his sentencing date, I still reserve the right to request a bench warrant.
So would that be a plea to count one of the amended complaint?
Yes, Your Honor.
Complaint. There'd be a Killebrew to PR bond. If D fails to appear for sentencing, people reserve the right. And reserve the right for what, Ms. Hagan?
To request a bench warrant at that time.
Okay. All right, and then in regards to the other file, which is 1637, is that going to be dismissed also as a part of the plea offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's the trespassing on that file.
Correct.
All right, so Ms. Robinson, I'll restate the plea agreement as I understand it, and then you can indicate if that's your understanding. Plea to count one on the amended complaint of 22-01746, dismiss count two of that same amended complaint. There's a Killebrew agreement to PR bond. If DF is failed to appear for sentencing, the prosecutor reserves the right to request a bench warrant. And then as to the second file, the files to dismiss the second trespassing file, 22-01637 is to be dismissed. Is that your understanding, ma'am? Ms. Robinson?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right. May I inquire of your client as to the plea on 22-01746?
Okay.
All right. Sir, you understand that the maximum penalty that you could get on if you plead guilty to count one is 90 days in jail and or a $500 fine. Do you understand that, Mr. Pruitt? All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And if you plead to the case, if you plead to that count, you will not have a trial of any kind. So you'll be giving up the following rights if you have a trial. You'd have the right to have witnesses called in your defense. You'd have the right to cross-examine all witnesses. Of course, you're represented by Miss Robinson in this case, and she would have the opportunity to cross-examine or contest any witnesses. Do you understand that, sir?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, you have the right to testify or remain silent without an inference being drawn from your silence. You have the right to the presumption of innocence, and you have the right that the requirement that your guilt be proven beyond a reasonable doubt by the city of Lansing. Do you understand those rights, sir?
Yeah, I understand clearly. I do.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if you plead guilty today, you're giving up those rights and you're waiving those rights to plead guilty because you are in fact guilty. Is that right, sir?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to have you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, I'm going to bring your attention back to March 31st of 2022 at the offense location of 6250 South Pennsylvania, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan. Were you present at that time, at that address on that date?
Yes, sir.
All right. And did you commit an assault and battery upon a Kurt Douglas Beckwith?
As far as I can remember, they gave me assault charge. They let me out on last like 2 months ago, and they said I was dismissed. And they pulled the charge back up on me again. So I don't know how many been in jail, but I plead guilty right now though. So I say guilty.
All right. So tell me what happened in regards to Mr. Beckwith. Did you?
He pushed me. I pushed.
Did you?
We pushed each other. That's all it was.
All right.
Push.
And so that pushing was an offensive touching, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
That's all it was. Huh?
All right. Anything else in regards to the factual basis, Ms. Hagan-Lawrence?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Robinson?
Your Honor.
All right. So I find the factual basis to be accepted as understanding, voluntarily, and accurate. I'm going to direct the defendant to probation for a pre-sentence report concerning this matter because it's an assault and there's a victim. So probation will come and talk to you. Either, well, the part of the Killebrew is a PR bond, but you should come to the probation department within 48 hours so that they can do a pre-sentence report in this case. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
All right. And understand that a part of the Killebrew agreement is that you are to receive a PR bond. So I'll PR bond you at this time.
All right. Thank you.
You are to continue to have no contact with the victim in this case, Mr. Kurt Douglas Beckwith.
Yes, sir. I got you. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Sentencing date is set for September 13th at 9 a.m.
All right. Thank you.
Anything else for the record, Ms. Hagan-Lawrence?
Yes, Your Honor, just one point of clarification as to whether that sentencing date is an in-person appearance or is via Zoom for when I called Mr. Beckwith.
It's definitely an in-person. It's an in-person sentencing.
Your Honor, if Mr. Beckwith wishes to give a statement to the court, may he appear via Zoom?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that would be through your office, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. So anything else for the record, Ms. Hagan-Lawrence?
No, Your Honor.
Miss Robinson?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Pruitt, we'll see you back in court on September 13th at 9 p.m. Don't forget to contact the probation department within the next 48 hours, okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Hagan Lawrence, are you ready to go on Mr. Adam?
Yes, Your Honor.
Excuse Ms. Sutter. All right. So we're on the record in 21L2651052. That's City of Lansing versus Muhammad Adam. And Mr. Adam, if you had the opportunity to, Ms. Sutter, you've had the opportunity to speak to your client and Ms. Hagan in a breakout room?
I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Hagan Lawrence, how are we proceeding? This is time set for pretrial today.
Thank you, Your Honor. I've had an opportunity to convey an offer to Ms. Sutter. I have offered an amended count of interfering with traffic. That's MCL 257.649, the 2-point civil infraction. It is my understanding that Ms. Sutter's client intends to admit responsibility.
So if I remember that correctly, it's 257.649. That is a $130 fine and a 2-point civil infraction, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Sutter, is that your understanding of the offer today?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, and your client intends to accept responsibility on that?
Correct, Your Honor.
May I inquire of your client, Mr. Adam?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Adam, you understand that if you pleaded responsible or you accept responsibility to the civil infraction interfering with traffic pursuant to 257649, that's a 2-point civil infraction and a $130 fine. You understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
All right, and it's your intent to plead responsible to that?
Say it again, Your Honor.
It's my understanding, it's your intention to plead responsible to the civil infraction, and then the misdemeanor and the other civil infraction are, the misdemeanors to be dismissed. There's one,
yes, Your Honor.
That's the failed to display a valid license.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to bring your attention back, sir, to July 9th of 2021 at the offense location of South King Boulevard at or near Woodgate Drive in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan. Were you driving a motor vehicle at the time at that address on that date?
Yes, Your Honor, and I was taking my daughter to the hospital.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I said I was taking my daughter to the hospital, yes, Your Honor.
All right. And at that time, did you in violation of 257649 interfere with traffic on that date and time?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I find the admission responsibility to be knowing and voluntarily. It's a 2-point civil infraction. It'll be from the Secretary of State. How long do you need to pay the $130 fine, sir?
I said right now, I'm be honest with you, I'm fighting cancer leukemia right now, so I currently don't have a job, but you just give me some time, I'll make a payment. That's okay. I'll do that.
All right. Do you think 30 days would suffice at this point?
Yes, I can go down there, set up a payment plan. I can come down there tomorrow if that okay with you.
All right. Let's do 30 days. To set up plan with city for fine. And that would be at so it'd be on the 6th floor, 124 West Michigan Avenue on the 6th floor. It can be paid off online, but if you're going to set up a payment plan, I would come in person. All right.
Yes.
All right. Anything else on the record in docket 2021 L2651052? Ms. Hagan Lawrence?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything, Ms. Sutter?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Adam, you're all set. You're free to leave the Zoom room. Thank you for your appearance today.
You guys have a good day.
Robinson, did you want the opportunity to speak with Ms. Craig? I think Ms. Craig is your client.
Yes, Your Honor, it is my client. If I could have a breakout room with her briefly.
All right, you can go back to room 3, and then
Okay.
I'll assign Ms. Craig into room 3.
Okay, thank you.
So Ms. Sutter, your client, Mr. Summerar, is here in person?
Yes, Your Honor, I was able to speak with him yesterday, so I think a conversation with Mrs. Hagan Lawrence might be helpful.
All right, good. I'll put you in a breakout room with the city attorney.
Thank you.
Ma'am, on the Galaxy A12 cell phone, would you please identify yourself?
Brittany Melvin.
All right, thank you, Brittany. So you're here for your 10:30?
Yes.
Are you represented by counsel today, ma'am?
You said about who?
Do you have a lawyer today?
No, I do not.
All right. You're in the right place, ma'am, so stand by, okay?
Okay.
Your Honor, is it possible for Mr. Summerer to be put on the court iPad for me to have a conversation with him?
Sure. Nathaniel's we'll put him on right now.
Thank you.
So, sir, follow my court officer and you can talk to your lawyer, okay? And Ms. Hagan Lawrence, we have also Miss Brittany Melvin here, who's not represented by counsel. Did you need to speak with her in a breakout room?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Melvin, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with the city attorney, assistant city attorney, so that you can talk about resolving this case. All right.
Yes.
All right. I got it. So Ms. Sutter, you're in room 2, and I'll put Miss Melvin in room 2 also.
Your Honor, it's not Miss Melvin I'm waiting to speak to. It's Mr. Summerer.
I'm sorry.
Did you mean Mrs. Hagan
Yeah,
Lawrence?
I met Miss Hagan Lawrence. So let's put Miss Hagan Lawrence in a room 4 with Miss Melvin.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Breakout room. I'm gonna get a prompt, just sit joint breakout room.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Robinson, have you had the opportunity to speak with Canvas Terry on the probation violation? We do have Mr. Hannick here from the probation department.
Your Honor, I have not been able to speak with him.
Would you like to be put in a breakout room with him to talk to
Sure.
him? All right, so I'm gonna put Ms. Robinson and Mr. Terry in a breakout room to talk about the probation violation. Ms. Hagan Lawrence, did you have the opportunity to speak with Ms. Melvin in a breakout room?
Yes, Your Honor, we are ready to go on the record.
All right, so I'll call the record in docket 22 L273 2702 and 01, City of Lansing versus Brittany Melvin. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
And ma'am, you are Brittany Melvin,
Yes,
and you can hear me all right, Miss Melvin?
yes,
And you are not represented by counsel today, is that correct?
correct.
All right. Ms. Hagan Lawrence, you had the opportunity to speak with Miss Melvin in a breakout room.
I have, Your Honor.
How are we proceeding today?
Thank you, Your Honor. We have a resolution on this file. Ms. Melvin intends to accept responsibility for the speeding. That's the file ending in 2701. And I am willing to dismiss the misdemeanor improper plates.
All right. So the understanding is to plead to the speeding civil infraction. Admit responsibility to the civil infraction speeding. And that's 1 to 5, which is $135. How many, do you know how many, is that any points?
Speeding
Ms.
1 to
Hagan Lawrence?
5 is a 1-point violation.
Okay. Two, 5, 7, 6, 2, 8. And when they plead to that, the improper plate file is to be dismissed.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Melvin, that's your understanding. You're going to plead to the civil infraction of speeding. And with a plea to that, the improper plate misdemeanor is to be dismissed.
Yes,
And you understand that the maximum amount of fines or the amount of fines for the speeding ticket is $135, and that's a 1-point offense.
yes.
All right. I'm going to bring your attention back to June 22nd, 2022 at the offense location of Miller at or near Norburn Way in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan. At that time, were you speeding 1 to 5 miles over the posted speed limit?
Yes,
All right. I find the admission to be knowing and voluntary. There'll be a 1-point abstract from the Secretary of State. Ma'am, it's $135 fine. Do you need some time to pay that to the city of Lansing?
I was because I'm actually on a payment arrangement with my other ticket. So I made $35 a month on that ticket. So if I can make payments arrangements on that one.
Yeah, let's see what the computer says and see if we can. Okay, I'm just going to add this to that amount. I'll add the $135 to the collections amount
Okay,
because you're already making payments on the collections amount.
correct.
Yes. They'll probably send you new paperwork indicating that this amount's been added. Just make sure you sign that and get it back to the city, okay?
Okay, I have a question because when I had the court last month, I was at my old address, but I had told the judge last month that I was getting ready to move on the 22nd, and that I would need it to be at the address.
So just I can tell you what address we have for you right now. Okay.
It should be.
Hold on, just 1 second, and then when you say it, we'll put it in.
Okay.
You're fine. All right, what's the address, ma'am?
It's 4731. I don't know how to
40
pronounce the name of the street, but it's DUVER N.A.Y. Drive, apartment 345.
And that's Lansing and the zip code?
48910.
And what's a good number for you, just for that file?
517-528-0005.
All right. So that'll be the address that any notices sent or paperwork, the new address, and that's updated on all your files. Okay, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. Anything else for the record in either one of these tickets? 22L27-32702 or 01? Ms. Hagan Lawrence?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Melvin, you're all set and you're free to go, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Robinson, are we ready to go on Ms. Craig?
We are.
All right. So we'll be on the record in docket 22013880. That's City of Lansing versus Lila Craig. Will the parties please introduce themselves to the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Aaron Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Ms. Craig.
All right, and so this is the pretrial on a file and a corresponding speeding ticket. So we have two files, but they're actually from the same ticket. Ms. Hagan Lawrence, how are we proceeding today?
Thank you, Your Honor. I've had an opportunity to confer with Ms. Robinson about this case. We would request a second pretrial in 30 days. I believe Ms. Craig is going to be doing some things with the Secretary of State so that I can extend an offer.
All right. So we've got August 30th at 9. Will that work, Ms. Hagan Lawrence?
It works for the city, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right. So we'll adjourn this matter for compliance purposes and set it for August 30th at 9 a.m. Ms. Craig, you understand that you're to be back in court and have your compliance, your any matters taken care of by August 30th at 9 a.m. You understand that, Ms. Craig?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else for the record on that file 22013880 from the city, Ms. Hagan Lawrence?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Robinson?
Oh, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions, Ms. Craig?
No.
All right, we'll see you back here on August 30th at 9 a.m. You're free to leave.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, this is Randy Lee. So let's call to the record docket 22L27-29072. That's City of Lansing versus Randy Lee Edwards. Did we do that one? Oh. Okay. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Aaron Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Ms. Edwards.
And this is the time set for, it looks like one ticket, two 2, 1 speeding and 1 failed to display a valid license. You are Brandy Lee Edwards, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and you can hear me all right, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Hagan Lawrence, time set for a pre-trial. How are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. I've not had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Robinson on Edwards, I don't believe. I would request a brief breakout room.
All right, I'm gonna put Ms. Hagan Lawrence and Ms. Robinson in a breakout room. Yeah. It's Miss Robinson. Yeah, I think it's Miss Robinson.
Yeah, I have used her while using her Wi-Fi. Okay, what? No, I'm in this courtroom. I'm in the courtroom. I can't. But...
And Your Honor, may I have a breakout room with Miss Edwards, please?
Yes, I'll put Miss Brandy Edwards and Miss Robinson in a breakout room.
If there's some downtime, Your Honor, may I also have a breakout room with Ms. Warren?
Yeah, why don't, so let's do, are you ready to go on Mr. Summerer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, let's go ahead and put that on the record, and then I'll put you in a room, a breakout room with Miss, so you are representing Miss Warren then, Alicia
I am.
Warren?
Yes.
All right, we couldn't tell. We couldn't tell from our files, but. All right, so we're on the record in docket. And I got a few files here. 220935, 22-00936, and accompanying ticket of 22L27065663, City of Lansing versus Darian Summerer. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Summerer, who is present via Zoom.
And sir, you are Darian Summerer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you can hear me all right, Mr. Summerer?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Hagan Lawrence, this is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. How are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe we have a resolution in this file. So in file ending in 6563, that is the expired license, Mr. Summerer is going to plead guilty. In exchange, I have offered to amend the reckless driving file, so that's 0935, to impeding traffic. And I have offered to dismiss the fail to obey file 0936.
All right. So amend the reckless driving to impeding traffic.
Right.
And that is that a 2-point offense?
The impeding traffic is the 0 point non-abstractable.
And so that's $130 fine.
I believe so.
I believe it's $125, Your Honor.
Yeah, that I'm gonna double check that because they bumped them. They bumped them,
The recent change.
but I'm not sure. It's 130. Yeah, they bumped them $5, Lauren. So
I see. Thank you.
I just have a brand new sheet that told me that.
Gotcha.
And what do you have a cite for the impeding traffic, Ms. Hagan-Lawrence?
Yes, Your Honor. It is MCL 257.676B.
Perfect. All right. So with a plea to the misdemeanor license expired and the impeding traffic, all other counts are to be dismissed.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Sutter, may I inquire of your client as to the license, the misdemeanor license, expired license?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir, in regards to this misdemeanor, you understand that this is a, is that a 90-day misdemeanor?
Expired license is a 93-day misdemeanor.
93-day misdemeanor and or $300?
I believe that's correct. I didn't have that part written down.
All right, Ms. Hagan-Lawrence?
It's my understanding that it is a $300 93-day
All right.
misdemeanor.
You understand that is you understand, Mr. Summerar, that is the maximum penalty for the driving while license, expired would be a 93-day misdemeanor and or $300.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And you understand that if your plea is accepted, you will not have a trial of any kind in this matter, and you'll be giving up certain rights in regard to that misdemeanor. I'm going to cover those with you today. You recognize you'd be giving up the right to have witnesses called in your defense. You'd have the right to you give up the right to cross-examine all witnesses, and that would be, you're represented by Ms. Sutter today. She would be there to contest any charges or cross-examine any witnesses. You understand you'll be giving up those rights if you plead guilty today.
Yes, Your Honor.
You'd be giving up the right to remain silent without any inference being drawn from your silence. You'd be giving up the right to the presumption of innocence, and you'd be giving up the right that requires that guilt be proven beyond a reasonable doubt by the city of Lansing. Do you understand you're giving up those rights today when you plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we've talked about the plea agreement in this case. You're going to plead on this file, plead to a civil infraction on file ending 935, and then the other file ending 936 is to be dismissed. You're giving up those rights today because you're pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to have you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to bring your attention, sir, back to April 1st of 2022 at the offense location of South Waverly at or near Coach Light Common in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan. Were you operating a motor vehicle on that date at that time at that place?
Yes, Your Honor.
And were you at that point in time, were you driving with an expired license?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And you knew your license was expired on that date?
To be honest, I did not.
Okay, but you were driving on you later to learn that you were driving on an expired license.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I find the factual basis to be understanding, voluntarily, and accurate. I'm going to have this matter referred to probation.
Your Honor, could we not do immediate sentencing today?
Well, there's just a lot of. I'll look to the city for a response. There's a lot of tickets here. So I'll leave it to the city if they want to go to immediate sentencing, or if they want to have this looked at. There's a reckless driving along with it. There's some other cases. So I'll leave it to the city's discretion for immediate sentencing purposes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Because the only conviction, misdemeanor conviction on this matter is to the expired license, and everything else was either dismissed or amended to a civil infraction, the city would not object to immediate sentencing if the court wishes to do so.
All right, I'm good with immediate sentencing. So in regards to the misdemeanor plea, we have certain costs we can't waive. So we have state costs of $50, crime victims' rights cost of $75, and a fine and costs of $200 for a grand total of $325 to the city of Lansing. Will you need some time to pay that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would 60 days be sufficient?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So the $325 payment. $60 days to pay. And that'll go to the immediate sentencing concerning the ticket 22L2706563. And then as to docket 2200935, it's my understanding that you'll be admitting responsibility to impeding traffic pursuant to 257674. Parents, I think that's parents B. I think it's my writing is parents B.
Your Honor, it's, I'm sorry to interrupt. It's 257.676B.
B, perfect. And you understand that's a 0-point civil infraction with a $130 fine? Do you understand that, Mr. Summerer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And with an admission of responsibility to that, the reckless driving ticket is to be dismissed? Is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna, as to the admission of responsibility, I'm gonna bring your attention back to the same April 1st, 2022 date. And this is to the amended impeding traffic under 257.676B. Were you at South Waverly at or near Coach Light Common in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan on that April 1st, 2022 date?
Yes, Your Honor.
And at that time, did you impede traffic in violation of 257.67CB?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I find the admission responsibility to be knowing and voluntarily and accurate. I'm going to assess the $130 fine. And I will give you 60 days to make payment on that also. I'll put that along with the other fine, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to give you 60 days to pay that fine also, okay?
Okay.
And then in accordance with the plea offer, Docket 22-00936 is dismissed. Is there anything else for the record, Ms. Hagan Lawrence?
Nothing from the city. Thank you.
Anything, Ms. Sutter?
I have nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Summerar, you're all set. You can leave the Zoom conference room. You have 60 days to make those payment fines. You can make them to the city of Lansing at 124 West Michigan on the 6th floor, or you can make those fines on the internet or mail it in.
Okay, Your Honor, thank you.
If you have any
You
questions
understand
about
that, sir?
that.
I'll just need the receipts and see everything as far as like the 60-day date from today and everything like that.
All right.
If you give me a call tomorrow, Mr. Summer, I can help you with that.
Okay, thank you. Perfect.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Sutter. That's all for the record in those files. To L2729072. That's City of Lansing versus Brandy Edwards. Ms. Robinson, you had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Hagan Lawrence and Ms. Edwards in breakout rooms.
Yeah.
Ms.
Hagan Lawrence, how are we proceeding on these files?
Thank you, Your Honor. I've talked to Ms. Robinson regarding this matter. It appears that Ms. Edwards has a couple of things to do with the Secretary of State in order to get her license back. We are requesting a 45-day adjournment so that she may take care of those items.
That is correct, Your Honor. And we would request 45 days because Ms. Edwards does have children that are going back to school soon. And so she's got some financial ties that are, holding her down as to getting her kids back in school and getting them the supplies and things that they need. So that's why we would request the 45 days so that she would have time to be able to get her finances back in order after that.
All right, so 6 weeks. So it'll be September 13th. At 9 a.m. Anything else for the record, Ms. Hagan Lawrence?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Anything, Ms. Robinson?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Edwards, keep in contact with your attorney, Ms. Robinson. We'll see you back September 13th at 9 a.m., okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.
And then are we ready to go on Mr. Terry, Ms. Robinson? Have you spoke with him?
Yeah.
All right. And we have Mr. Hannah here from the probation department. So I'm going to go on the record in docket 20-01503. This is the City of Lansing versus Terry Canvas Terry. This is a violation of probation. And just for the record, I will indicate that we were contacted by Mr. Hannah and Mr. Terry concerning that Mr. Terry was what's a better way of saying, tested positive for COVID. So that's why we're all on Zoom right now. It's my preference to have these matters live. And so when Mr. Hannah contacted our office and said, Mr. Terry can appear by Zoom, that's why the court indicated that was amenable in this situation. So I'll indicate for the record, this is 20-01503, and parties' appearances for the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence, appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing. Sorry.
Okay, Aaron Robinson, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Terry.
And sir, you are Canvas Terry?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you can hear me all right, Mr. Terry?
Yes, Your Honor, I can hear you fine.
All right, and I have Brendan Hanna also here from the Probation Department. This is the time set for a probation violation. Ms. Hagan Lawrence, do you know how we're proceeding today?
It is my understanding that this will be an admission to the violation.
Okay. Ms. Robinson, is that your understanding today?
Your Honor.
Yes. Okay. Let me make sure I've got the. I'll take it if it's COVID wise. Mr. Terry, do you have video capabilities?
Yes, let me try to work this. I'm kind of.
I just want to make sure you raise your right hand in this regard. All right. So I'm gonna have you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I have that in a request and summons for probation violation filed by Brendan Hanna on July 5th, 2022, signed by myself on July 5th, 2022, that you are in violation of your probation as follows. One, you failed to make a biweekly payment of $50. Do you admit that you violated the terms of your probation by not making a biweekly payment of $50?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I also have you failed to submit to random testing at Adams South on June 15th, June 28th, and July 2nd. Do you admit to those violations?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I also have you failed to provide proof of completion of alcohol highway safety education program, and you failed to provide a completion of victim impact panel. Do you indicate that you're in violation of your probation concerning both those matters?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I find that your factual basis for a probation violation to be understanding, voluntarily, and accurate. I have a recommendation, Mr. Hanna. Is there anything you wanted to say in regards to the recommendation?
Mr. Terry, I spoke with Ms. Robinson, his attorney, and I recommend to keep him on probation. He just started working again as of last week, and he should be able to. He pretty much just needs to do his testing as follows and complete the victim impact panel and the highway safety seminar.
Okay, so I'm going to have admitted to violations. Probation continued. And if you were to prioritize the violations in regard to the impact panel and the highway safety are two of the more important violations that need to be addressed here.
Oh, yes.
Is that true,
Yes,
Mr.
Your
Hanna?
Honor.
Okay. The end date, so I can confirm this, right now the probation end date is August 17th. Is that right, Mr. Hanna?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'd give him another 3 months, just to give him some time to complete.
So
If
give
that'd be
until
all right.
November 17th?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Terry, you understand that your new end date is November 17th of 2022, so you can comply with all of what's required for probation. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm not ordering jail today. First of all, there's some question as to whether it was being it was suggested that that could be an option, given your physical health at this time, A, and the B, you have other things to complete and you just got a job. I think that we can make that less of a priority in concerns to some of the other probation requirements that are needed at this time. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. What I'm trying to tell you is that right now, the compliance with the testing and the compliance with the victim impact panel and your work employment, those take precedent right now. But as I start running out of options over the next 3 months, I'm gonna end up with less options, and that's when jail becomes an option. And I don't want to do that because that's not how I look at the world. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
So the sooner you get this done in November, the sooner you have to come to court and deal with me, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else for the record from the city, Ms. Hagan Lawrence?
No, thank you.
Ms. Robinson?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Terry, keep in contact with Mr. Hannah, your probation officer, in regards to the rest of your probation, and good luck to you. Okay, Mr. Terry?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you for your appearance today, Mr. Hannah.
Yep. Have a good day, Judge.
You too. And Ms. Warren, are you represented by Ms. Sutter or Ms. Robinson today?
By me.
Ms. Sutter. All right. So we'll call the file of 22-01-526, City of Lansing versus Alicia Warren. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Ms. Warren. And Your Honor, I actually never got the breakout room with Ms. Warren to discuss this case with her.
Let me put you in a breakout room with Ms. Warren then. There were a lot of breakout rooms today. So
Understood,
so you
Your
can
Honor.
go back to room 1, and Ms. Warren will put you in room 1 also, all right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Benson is here. Is that Ms. Sutter or Ms. Robinson for the Public Defender's Office?
I'm showing it as Miss Sutter, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Benson, we'll get to your case. Your public defender is in a breakout room at this time, okay?
All righty.
All right, thank you. You're right where you need to be.
Okay, thank you.
Person on the iPhone, can you identify yourself, please?
Sharpay Pruitt.
All right, Ms. Pruitt, and who's your lawyer, Ms. Pruitt? Ms. Robinson or Ms. Sutter, if you know?
I really don't know. I forgot her name. She gave it to me yesterday.
All right.
I wrote it down. But
Ms.
I'm at
Hagan
work,
Lawrence,
so.
all right, who do you have?
Thank you, Your Honor. I am showing an appearance in demand from Miss Robinson on this file.
All right, Ms. Robinson, you represent Ms. Pruitt? Ms. Robinson, do you represent Ms. Pruitt? All right, Ms. Pruitt, it appears Ms. Robinson stepped away from her desk for a moment, so we're going to have you. You're right where you need to be. You're in the right place. All right, Ms. Pruitt.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Hi.
So Mrs. Robinson, have you had the opportunity to speak with Ms. Pruitt on this case?
I have not. Can I have a breakout room, please?
Sure, but Ms. Pruitt, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room with your public defender, Ms. Robinson, all right?
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Sutter, are you ready to go on the record with Ms. Warren?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We're on the record in docket 22-01526. That is City of Lansing versus Alicia Warren. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Ms. Warren, who is present via Zoom.
And ma'am, you are Alicia Warren?
Yes.
And you can hear me all right, Ms. Warren?
Yes.
This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Ms. Hagan Lawrence, how are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. I've had an opportunity to confer with Ms. Sutter about this. We are requesting a 30-day adjournment. I've asked for Ms. Warren to do some things with the Secretary of State so that I can consider an offer. And I'd also need to review some records that my office is preparing. So that's the basis for the 30-day adjournment request.
And Ms. Sutter, that's your understanding is a request for adjournment by both parties for compliance purposes?
That's correct, Your Honor.
So we'll get a date 30 days on
August 30th.
August 30th at 9 a.m. Ms. Sutter, may I make sure your client understands we'll be back here August 30th, 2022
Yes.
at 9 a.m. All
Yes.
right.
Sorry.
No, that works. Anything else for the record, Ms. Hagan Lawrence?
Nothing from the city. Thank you.
Anything, Ms. Sutter?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Warren, we'll see you back here on August 30th at 9 a.m., okay?
Thank you.
All right, you're free to leave.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Ms. Robinson, did you have the opportunity to speak with Ms. Pruitt? Or was she not able to get in the room?
We spoke. We're all set.
All right, I lost her oh, here. There we go.
I'm back on. I don't know what I'm doing.
That's all right.
Okay.
So we're on the record in docket 20-01194. That's City of Lansing versus Sharpay Pruitt. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Robinson, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Ms. Pruitt.
And ma'am, you are Sharpay Pruitt?
Yes, I am.
And you can hear me all right, Ms. Pruitt?
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you. Ms. Hagan Lawrence, this is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. How are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. I had an opportunity to confer with Ms. Robinson about this case. I have offered to amend the noise disturbance to disorderly person, breach of the peace civil infraction. That is Lansing Ordinance 66401 sub C.
And that's a civil infraction. Is that so what's the fine on that? Is that just the ordinary $130 fine?
I believe that that's the fine set that the court has set for that offense, Your Honor. That's what I've
All
seen in 54A from in the past.
Okay, I've got 150 under that city ordinance. I'll just keep it at the regular 130. All right, Ms. Robinson, is that your understanding that we're going to have an admission to a civil infraction under the city code?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Pruitt, I'm going to have you sit while you're admitting responsibility to this, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, so Ms. Pruitt, I'm going to bring your attention back to April 11th, 2020 at the offense location of White Street, Addernear, Massachusetts, in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan. My understanding is on that date, you were a disorderly person in breach of peace in violation of 664.01C. Do you admit responsibility to that civil infraction at that time on that date?
Yes, I do.
All right. I'm going to set a fine of $130. Do you need some time to pay? You need some time to pay that, ma'am?
Yes, I will. Yes, I do.
All right, I'm going to give you 30.
Like every 2 weeks.
All right, I'll give you 30 days. 30 days to pay the $130 to the city of Lansing.
Okay.
Anything else for the record, Ms. Hagan Lawrence?
No, Your Honor, just for our own awareness for future cases, the city ordinances take us back to the general code penalties found in 202.99, which establishes a penalty for civil infractions as not less than $150. I don't object to $130 if you deem appropriate in this case, but just so we know going forward.
Fair enough. So so the the general, I just looked at the $130 fine at the fine and went with that, but so Miss Pruitt, you get a $20 break today, okay?
Okay, all right, thanks.
All right. All right. Ms. Robinson, anything else for the record in 20-1194?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Pruitt, you're all set. You're free to leave the Zoom room. You can
All
make
right,
that payment
thank
within
you.
30 days. Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
All right, thank you.
And let's go on the record in 18-03299. That's City of Lansing versus Millard Benson. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Vincent, who was present via Zoom.
And you are Millard Vincent, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you can hear me all right, Mr. Vincent?
Yep, loud and clear.
All right, thank you. Ms. Hagan Lawrence, how are we proceeding? This is time set for pretrial. I'm not sure if Ms. Sutter had a chance to speak with her client in a breakout room.
I did not have the opportunity yet, Your Honor. I'm currently speaking with Miss Hagan Lawrence, so I don't know if that might be the more helpful breakout room first.
All right, so let's put Ms. Hagan Lawrence and Ms. Sutter in a breakout room.
Thank you.
And then Mr. Vincent, you can meet with your public defender right after that, okay?
All right.
All right.
Your Honor, if I could just very quickly have a breakout room with Mr. Vincent now, please.
Sure. So I'll put Ms. Sutter and Mr. Vincent in a breakout room.
Thank you.
So Ms. Hagan Lawrence, when Ms. Sutter gets back, we'll do the FTAs for Hodges and Cates. All right. All right, let's go on the record with the bench warrants. So we first have Mr. Hodges. So I'd go docket 21-03103. City of Lansing versus Martin D. Hodges. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Karen Robinson, Assistant Public Defender for Mr. Hodges.
And this is the time set for a pretrial. It was scheduled for 10:30. It's now 11:45. Ms. Hagan Lawrence, how would you like to proceed?
Thank you, Your Honor. This appears to be the first failure to appear, at least in terms of a hearing in which the City of Lansing has attended. Based on that, I would request a bench warrant with a 48-hour hold.
Any objection to that, Ms. Robinson?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll do a bench warrant with a 48-hour hold on file 21-03103. And then we have file 19-04741, City of Lansing versus Devon Cates. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence appearing on behalf of the City of Lansing.
And is Mr. Cates represented by the Public Defender's Office?
Your Honor, I do not have an appearance in demand in my file from anybody.
All right. This is the time set for a pretrial on the matter. This was scheduled for 11. It's now 11:47. Ms. Hagan Lawrence, how would you like to proceed?
Thank you. This also appears to be the first failure to appear, at least in terms of a hearing in which the City of Lansing attended. Therefore, I'd request a bench warrant, but with a 48-hour hold.
Okay, so request is granted. DFTA bench warrant bond forfeiture. I placed a 48-hour hold in case the defendant appears.
Thank you.
So that's all on the record on 19-04741. And now we're back on the record in docket 18-03299, City of Lansing versus Millard Benson. Ms. Sutter, you've had the opportunity to speak with Ms. Hagan Lawrence in a breakout room.
I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Did you need to speak with Mr. Vincent in a room?
I just finished speaking with him.
All right, thank you. Ms. Hagan Lawrence, how are we proceeding today?
Thank you, Your Honor. Based on some information that I was provided from Ms. Sutter, the City of Lansing would move to dismiss.
I assume there's no objection, Ms. Sutter?
Correct, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Vincent, today the city moves to dismiss without prejudice. You understand that they may bring the case back if they choose, but on today's date, the file is dismissed. Do you understand that, Mr. Vincent?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else for the record, Ms. Hagan Lawrence?
No, Your Honor. I would just note, based on the information that Ms. Sutter provided to me, the city will not reissue charges on this matter, although we may have a right to.
All right. So I'm told because it came in on a complaint, Ms. Hagan Lawrence, we'll need a nollie from your office on the file.
Understood, Your Honor. I will have one prepared and we'll send it to your court staff.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Sutter?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Vincent, good luck. Thank you for your appearance today.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
I think that is it for our purposes. We have some show causes, but I don't think anybody appeared for them. But Ms. Hagan Lawrence and Ms. Sutter, thank you for your appearance today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Your Honor. We will see you next week.
All right. Have a nice day. Take care.
Have a good one, Your Honor. Bye, Lisa.
All right, let's go ahead and call these. Since Wendy's really excited about calling them. So we're on the record in docket 19-03601, Davian D, City of Lansing versus Davian Beasley. This is the time set for a show cause on the matter. It appears the defendant owes $244, $245, and defendant has failed to appear. So a bench warrant for $200, 10% will be issued. And that's all for the record in 19-03601. Then we have 20-01712. This time set for a show cause in the matter where the defendant owes $596. The defendant's failed to appear. This was scheduled for 11:30. It's now 11:51. There's nobody in the Zoom courtroom. I'll set, so failed to appear, bench warrant is issued for $200, 10%. So that's all on the record on docket 20-01712. We have docket 21L2637361, City of Lansing versus David Harris. This is the time set for a show cause in this matter. Defendant owes $216. This was scheduled for 11:30. It's now 11:52. Court will issue a bench warrant in the amount of $200 and 10%. That's all for the record on Mr. Harris's file. Next is Ms. Jackson, docket 22-00798, City of Lansing versus Tajani Jackson. Ms. Jackson owes $80 as a part of this. She's failed to appear. However, I'll administratively close the file. That's all for the record on 22-00798. We have 22-00886. City of Lansing versus Whitney Patterson. Appears that Ms. Patterson owes $200. The defendants failed to appear today. Issue a bench warrant for $200, which is the amount at 10%. This case was called to be at 11:30. It's now 11:53. And Ms. Watkins, which is file 22-00907, City of Lansing versus Charlene Watkins. Appears Ms. Watkins owes $250 to the City of Lansing. This case was called for 11:30. It's now 11:55. The defendant has failed to appear. Bench warrant is issued in the amount of $200, 10%. And that's all for the record in 22-00907. And that would conclude this morning's docket. Ma'am, you are Charlene Watkins?
Yes. First of all, Your Honor, I want to say that I'm very, very sorry. I apologize for being late.
The last file. We're looking for your file now because there's a bench warrant out for you.
Yeah, I'm 30 minutes late, Your Honor.
Yeah. All right. You're here though, so we can take care of that. We don't have to do a bench warrant.
Thank you very much.
I've only got you at owing, so I'm gonna call your record 22-00907. Miss Watkins did appear. I'm gonna strike the bench warrant and bond forfeiture. And ma'am, you've got it's a $250 debt to the city of Lansing. Is there any way you can make payment on that within the next 30 days?
Definitely within the next 30 days. Your Honor, I've been going through some things with trying to move out of a place where I'm dealing with a lot of harassment. I mean, syrup in my tank. I don't want to go over all of this with you right now because, you know, we have this stuff going on. But I just want to let you know that there's a lot of stuff going on in my life that's keeping me from paying that little $250 because of the fact that I only get $841 a month in SSI. So I'm trying to do what I can. I just got my license back. I wanted to be here today to show you that I'm not trying to be irresponsible. I'm just going through things. And I promise you, I am going to get to that payment. If you can give me another 30 days, that works for me. If I can't pay the whole thing, I'll pay what I can and then just let you take me from there.
All right, that works for me, Miss Watkins.
Thank
So
you.
I'm going to indicate now that you're going to make payment within the next 30 days. If not, just talk to them and tell them what you can pay, and they'll set up a payment plan for you. But within the next 30 days, pay something that way so we can avoid all of this. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. God bless you.
All right. You're all set, Miss Watkins. Have a nice day. Okay.
Thank you so much. Like I said, God bless
All
you,
right.
Your Honor.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too.